Bunbury are kicking towards the port end, which is left of screen if you're watching it on the stream, everyone. And South Bunbury kicking towards the city end, right of screen. I'm looking at that South Bunbury back line, and I've been calling South Bunbury for 2 years, and the only one I recognise as a permanent there is Hutchison.
And Versace.
They got some real spare parts and some young ones in there. Oh, Rocco's gone down there, has he? Yep.
Rocco's gone to Horton.
That's good.
Giving away a bit of height on that one.
All right.
Out on the other wing's a pretty handy one too. So we're not far away to start. This is SEN Spirit. This is Southwest Football League at its very best. And this is Darren McDonald.
Pedley and King go at it in the middle of the ground. King wins it down, then picks the ball up off the deck. He got it quickly to Creasy, who was dispossessed. Now the ball spits out the back to Ethan Nordell. Tries to get a handball away, and as we'd expect early, the heat is on. Scotty Donkin on the left boot. Gets it inside 50. Marching out of there was Hutchison, got a handball away to a teammate, and they bring it out to the members' wing. Attacking the ball was Jarvis. He's got the long sleeves on, but he's got a lot of company there in Williamson, who could have been held, I thought, by Jarvis. But anyhow, the ball spills to Bain on the wing for South Bunbury, and he pumps it long. The mark's missed by Borlini of Bunbury. He goes back and gets after it. He's quite slippery, and they're going hard at it. Ball still eludes them. Bunbury handball over the line. What's the umpire going to say? He's just going to say ball it in. And so it's just about on South Bunbury's 50. And they are going to bring the ball back into play.
Stoppage work will be absolutely crucial on today.
Up they go. Oh,
young Pedley
body out, bodies. King takes the ball out of the ruck and kicks it forward. Ball comes off the pack. Picked up beautifully by Blake Piggott, who centres it up. It must have. Oh, he's sounded.
Paid the mark.
Said he was,
Gee, I tell you what, Blake Piggott, sensational out of there. Could have went for the handball, but he spotted Lachlan Riley out of the corner of his eye. Had to be perfect. It was. Riley stood very firm in that contest. We spoke of him before the game, Macca, and he'll get the first shot at goal.
The umpire saying that he was... did he pay the mark, or was he saying he was being held out? I felt like he might have said he was being held out.
I think he paid the interference on it.
Yeah.
Either. He was going to take the mark anyway.
He's dead in front. He's going to kick from about 40. Off he goes on his favoured left boot. It's not a bad-looking drop punt. Umpire moves to the right, and it is one behind. So, first score of the day going to South Bunbury, but they've looked lively early, Craney.
Yeah, both sides up and about, no doubt about that. And why wouldn't you be, Macca? I know there's a fair bit on the line. It's bragging rights as well, but these 4 points absolutely vital in the context of this season.
And Perks is going to bring the ball back into play for the Bulldogs. He just runs straight out of the square and right up the corridor and drives the ball in the same direction. Sitting at the back is Gribble. He's got 3 to beat. Manages to get the handball back to Hall. Hall gets a good-looking pass out to King on the wing. He goes long, and there's Scotty Donkin. Great gather. His size and bulk in this wet conditions day is going to really help him out. Ball's at 50 for Bunbury. And there'll be a ball up on that 50.
That's something Bunbury been very good all year, swinging out on that outer side when they release out of defence. They always seem to have a man out on that area waiting to get for the release.
Ball one down by Pedley. Good leap by him. Gribble gets his head over the ball. Gets a foot to it, but it's all smothered. They're going at it, hammer and tong in there. Ball spills out. Hall gets the ball on his foot. Well attacked in there by Hawks of Bunbury. Brings it back outside of 50. Bunbury go back in. It's not bad. It's zinging around a bit, but Horsman takes a steadying mark for South. Riley has the ball. Handballs it backwards to Versace. Versace gets it to Bain. Bain tries to put a worm burner in to Jones. Jones gets it to Piggott, but it goes over the line in front of the South Bunbury dugout.
Pretty good ball early, Macca.
Yeah.
That ball is a little bit slippery.
Players hitting the ball hard and grabbing it on the half volley. It's fantastic.
And that's going to be the key to, isn't it? That one grab footy.
Yep. So here they go, Pedley and King. One down by Pedley, having the better of this bout at the moment. Hutchison can't grab it. Crane goes in, could have been taken high, wins the football. Oh, the umpire said holding the ball in correct disposal.
Yeah, I think he got caught as he did. You love that one, little fella.
Here we go. Scotty Donkin.
Macca, how you going? Your favourite player?
Well,
I tell you what, well and truly within range here.
I tell you what, he looks like he's bulked up over pre-season. Been doing a fair bit of work, Scotty. Needs to go back to the mullet. He's a 45-degree angle.
He's
Right
a beautiful
side for
kick
a
of the
right footer,
footy.
but he's a left footer. It's against the breeze and it floats up to the hot spot. Ball goes in. It's taken out the back there beautifully by Nitschke. Gets around 3 or 4 of them. Has a shot on goal.
Gee, that would have been
behind.
going for our Western All Perth Service goal
Jeez,
today.
he-
He did a lot of work then, didn't he, to get himself into position.
Shook a few off.
He did. He
Cooper
was
Nitschke.
light-footed.
Okay, so Galloway brings the ball back into play, straight down the corridor. It's well hit by field of Bunbury. Ball now tied up inside the centre square. Richie Bourne just dribbles one out of the pack, gets it off to the long-sleeved player in Waldrett. Waldrett then gets it to Riley, touches it down, gets to half forward, goes on his left foot, going high and long looking for an option. And Jarvis just couldn't reel it in. He's appealing for a free kick, but there'll be a ball up about 40 metres around in the left forward. A ball in 40 metres around the left forward pocket for South Bunbury.
Definitely a bit of carry towards the city end there, Macca.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Both sides sitting on 1 point apiece. No ruckman gets it, lays a glove on that. It's picked up now by Bunbury. That was Creasy who brings the ball out wide, right here on the members' wing. Getting after it is Heisman. Gets it onto his left foot, just dribbles it forward. Coming out is Versace, well gathered, body behind the ball, gets it to Hutchison. He goes around on his left foot, looking in the middle of the ground. That's excellent work by Hall. He's been busy early. Now he gets it to Gribble. Gribble runs for 50, goes from home. Getting back is Horsman. Ball takes a leg break and goes out of bounds just next to the right point post.
Game of inches too, and just a little Bunbury in hand in there created a turnover, and Jesse Gribble, when he gets a bit of a chance and look at it, normally makes a good job of it.
So a ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. They go at it. Ball spills, taken by Ethan Nordell. We know what he's capable of. That kick wasn't so great. Gathered by Bain. Goes back there to Baskerville. Drives it out of defence, but a very good mark there to Bunbury's Renton, who went inside, but it's been chopped off again, and South Bunbury looks to repel.
Not a lot of
That's
leads up
Piggott.
front.
Piggott. He comes out, finds teammate. That was Sawyer. He gets it up to Versace. They're going up along the members' wing now. There was not bad positioning there by Perks. Got the ball to ground. Then he gets it out.
Oh, that was neat.
That was beautiful to Creasy. Creasy then got it back to Perks, and Perks goes to the hot spot. They stand underneath it. It's only Bunbury at the Horsman. Saves the day. Is he going to get holding the ball? I think he might. Craney.
Gee, Creasy just out in front of us here. That was absolutely superb skills, and that created this shot at goal to a big Joel Horton.
Yeah, Benny Horsman did a lot of good work there, but then when he had the opportunity to get rid of it, he didn't.
He just couldn't find that release moment, could he?
And then he got tackled and he couldn't get rid of it, so big Joel Hortman gets a chance to get the first goal of the day, dead in front.
Of course, leading the goal kicking.
Will kick from about 40 metres. In he comes, big Joel Horton. Right foot, pokes at it. He's got it.
It's a good
home.
way to start it.
And the home side get the first goal of the day. Bunbury 1-1-7 to South Bunbury, 1 point.
Do you know what? We will have trouble looking for the CPA Outdoor Centre mark of the day today, Macca, because
It'll go to a diving chess mark, I reckon.
Although, look, it's nice now, but there is a lot of cloud coming in behind us over the back, and that was on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. First goal to Bunbury, and look, it's been a bit of an arm wrestle early on, but that work by Harry Creasy just in front of us, absolutely brilliant.
So we come back to the middle of the ground for a KFC ball up, Craney.
Keep an eye on round the grounds today, true for Geograph Civil when they start coming in.
Absolutely. All right. Here we go. Pedley and King. Up they go. No ruckman hit it. The wind took that away. Bunbury head over the ball. Heisman then leaves it for his teammate, Creasy, who gets it forward. It's a good effort there by Gribble. He's being held, I would have thought. He's trying to do it, and then he's been ridden into the ground. What's the umpire said? He said he's going to have it, saying Gribble might have been trying to milk one.
Cam Valenti having none of that.
Pedley wins this one down. Ball's picked up by King, however, gets a handball forward. Crane gets a handball back to Ethan Nordell. Nordell over the back to Riley. Riley wrong foots his opponent, then dishes it out to Hutchison. Hutchison does a little fake, comes back inside and spots up Bain. Here goes Hutchison through the middle of the ground. This time he only finds as far as Kerwin.
Crawford 18, Macca?
Yeah,
oh,
Crawford.
Look, Jesse Gribble all by himself.
Jesse Gribble all on his own. Chess mark at 45.
South Bunbury's a run forward and that turnover just hurts you big time.
Absolutely. So, Jesse Gribble, is he a chance from here, Craney?
Absolutely. Jesse Gribble, you never write off Jesse at any stage.
He comes inside 50. Let's go from 45. He's put it up nice and high. They all stand under. It's a very good mark in there. No, umpire said it's gone out of play. Bad luck to Parsons. Out on the full. And it's going to be brought back into play by Galloway.
Bunbury got a bit of pressure on the Tigers.
Galloway goes long on the left boot, right out of 50. Nordell, it even went further than him. Picked up there by Field, gets it to Hall. Hall goes back to Field, he fumbles. Field's still there, not in the field of dreams at the moment, that's for sure, Craney. He was in a world of hurt after he fumbled that.
Bunbury have done well. They've stifled South Bunbury's run in the early stages of this first quarter.
So Ethan Nordell, he spots it up and finds, umpire said not 15, so play on to this youngster wearing the number 22 for Souths.
Must have been 14.9, that one, Macca.
Yep, I reckon. Up they go for KFC. One down by Pedley, hung in the air for a long time. Creasy, umpire said incorrect disposal. Going to be hot on that today. They've changed the interpretation this week for the AFL, so they've changed here as well.
Don't know whether you can do that. You can't play on forward of the mark.
Chitty needed to go behind the mark. Riley was away, but let's see what happens now.
Just a little bit of a lack of movement from the Tigers up front at the moment.
Yep. They haven't got it past halfway for a while. Chitty goes out. Waldrett cut off. Taken there. That was by Oliver. He finds a teammate in Parsons. Parsons chips over the top, and there's Gribble again. Top of the 50, turns around, plays on, gets to 40, lets fly off the right boot. And it's only another behind.
We spoke about Jesse Gribble post-game, Macca, and he has had just an absolute paddock. They need to tighten up on him. He's too good to be able to leave free. He's missed the first couple, but he has been very, very good. As the rain looks like it might be starting to close in again, the crowd's starting to move back under shelter.
Ball comes back into play and it's bucketing down here. Cats and dogs at Payne Park. Bunbury belt the ball back forward into their 50. Horsman stands underneath, can't mark. Coming at his Woods, and the ball goes over the line off hand. So there'll be a throw in about 45 around from Bunbury's goal, just in front of the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's Southwest Tigers, the scoreboard. Still Bunbury 1-2 to the South Bunbury, just the one solitary point.
Jeez, Craney, it is coming
They're
down.
starting moving.
Rightio, Horsman and Horton. Horton wins it off the ground, gets it back to a teammate, Creasy, who threw it on his boot. It's marked there by Hutchison, umpire.
That's Crawford and Macca.
Oh, is it?
Crawford is 18, Hutchison 1.
Oh, right, there's a big change. Thanks, sorry. Ball's one down. Bunbury get it back and dribble one through for a point. That was...
It's all the Bulldogs at the minute. They
Field.
are pushing forward, aren't they? They're just
that was
putting
Field,
a lot of pressure on that South Bunbury defence. As you said, a little bit depleted down there. So
yeah, they are... Bunbury are dominating possession at this point in time and just thumping the ball forward. Bring the ball back into play is Galloway. Galloway goes out with that long left foot, but it has been intercepted there by Creasy. He plays on now, finds a teammate inside 50, and that is Hawks. So Hawks will probably kick from just outside 50. He fancies himself, Alan.
And Troy Hollands is using that interchange, Harvey Norman interchange bench pretty regularly here to keep his players fit and ready.
Rightio, in he goes. He runs around on his left, puts it up nice and high.
Geez, give her that a fair roost.
It, and it's just a behind. I reckon I might have been wrong about that breeze.
Yeah, I reckon that one's sat up there a little bit.
But then when you see Galloway bring the ball out, it's going a long, long way. So
It's swirling. I think you're just going to have to be. It's a day like today where you're just lucky if you kick them with it because it's going to swing from end to end.
Yeah, well, up on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, get yourself a D-Max shit. It's.
What are you driving, Macca?
I drive a D-Max, mate.
Guess what I drive? An MUX.
1-4-10 to South Bunbury, 1 point.
And South can't get it past this defensive unit of Bunbury.
Here goes Galloway, the left footer. This time he tries to pinpoint a pass, but standing in there is Hall. He drops the ball inside, looking there for Gilchrist. He can't pick it up. There's bodies flying everywhere. It's right about 25 metres out. Grabbed by Jarvis. Gets it forward, but only as far as Hall on his chest. He sees something he likes. Kicks off 1 foot. Oh, jeez.
Crawford.
They go down by 9 pins. Umpires found a free kick, and it's going to Crawford.
He wore a pretty solid one then, did Reece Crawford, but he's up and about. He's
plays
tough.
on. Tries to come out to the fat side. Leaves the player in his wake. He's got a teammate over the back in Sawyer who takes a chest mark. Still inside D50. Plays on now. On the right boot. Comes off the side. Out on the full. And bringing the ball back into play will be Williamson. Plays on immediately. Drives it into the hot spot. A good-looking kick. They stand underneath it. Horton can't grab it.
He had a good look at that,
Umpire
Horton.
said the free kick for interference. That's what happens when the big body gets in the right position. Craney defenders can panic.
Now I can let you know, Macca, that Hutchison has just come on through the Harvey Norman Furniture interchange bench. He's number 1.
All right, so Bodie Nordell is a non-starter.
Riley will come off and Blake Pickett will come on. But it's all Bunbury at the moment.
Yep, it is. And they are taking all before them, but they'd want to capitalise, Craney, on these opportunities. In comes Horton.
Well, it's in very good hands now. The Southwest Football League's leading goal kicker.
45-degree angle from 35 metres straight through the eye, diddle. I think he's got his second as Big Horton. The only multiple goal scorer at this stage. The only goal scorer at this stage. 2-4-16. South Bunbury 1 point on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Thanks to MGIB. Like a good neighbour, MGIB is there. And at the moment, it is all the Bulldogs. They're putting an enormous amount of pressure on the Tigers' defensive unit. In fact, the Tigers have only had it inside 50 once, and that was in the first minute of the game where Riley had a shot for goal. But other than that, the Bulldogs have been all over it.
Who's leading your WA carpet supermarket best on ground, Craney?
Oh, look, there's a few at the moment, Macca, that have been standing up, but Jesse Gribble's had a lot of the footy.
He has, and Hall's been with him as well. Ball's one out there by South Bunbury, got it to Bain. Bain on his left boot. Crane sets out after it. Can he make something happen for his team? Gets a handball away to Bourne. Bourne can't handle it. Heisman picks it up off the ground and dumps it forward. That seems to be the order of the day. Field was dispossessed. Now we have Hutchison come on. That goes through the hands of... That went through the hands of Jones. Bunbury butter up and go forward.
I reckon that's
found another free kick to Horton. Versace says, "What did I do wrong?" And the umpire said, "You held him."
Yeah, Horton, once he gets that body in front, he's a very big man to sort of work your way around. And that was a turnover in the middle of the game again by South Bunbury. Just too much heat on the ball. Donkin picked up and dropped it at a perfect spot for Horton, 1-on-1. He's a very hard man to beat. And here we go for his third goal, Macca.
Dead in front. It's going to kick from 40. Right boot. No, the umpire does not move. Horton has his third. Bunbury 3-4-22. South Bunbury want to get a wriggle on because they have only got the 1 point.
Well, they need to find a way to get their hands on the footy, and the turnovers, that was exactly what happened then. Overcooked the ball, which left the Bunbury player completely on his own. And look, Rocco Versace, you can't do anything when you're up against a man of Horton's size when it comes on top of his head like that. Joel Horton, no magnificent start to the game, 3 goals.
Did you really pick up anything Rocco did wrong there, though?
A bit hard to see from here, I suppose. Macca, the umpire, sitting on the side there.
I'm just wondering if he actually did anything really wrong. He might have had a hand wrapped around or something, but...
Doesn't take much these days.
No. Pedley and King. One down by King. King gets after it again. Socket off the ground by Bain. All players going hard in it. Riley can't get hold of it. Then he throws a player out of the way illegally. Umpire doesn't see it. Bourne has the footy for South Bunbury. Gets on his left foot and drives it into centre half forward. Nordell can't mark. It's Crane. It's Crane going at it. Crane going at it with his opponent. Now the ball's gone forward. Getting after it's Crawford. He takes the ball, turns on his left foot and goes out towards the wing. Ball cannot be marked by Jones, and it's taken over the line by Bunbury.
Bunbury getting numbers around the footy too, Macca, which is good sign for them. And they're sitting behind. Heisman's just come off that half-back line a couple of times, been very, very effective, just bombing the ball as far as he can.
I was just saying, they're not trying to be too cute, Bunbury. They're just playing percentage football. I thought Bourne there with his kick was trying to pinpoint a target with a low drop punt, but it's not the day for that. Anyway, the ball's been thrown in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. Bourne emerges with it, looks for a handball, no one there to give, so he pops it up nice and high. They fly, no one can take it. Crane at the bottom of the pack, can't keep it in. There'll be a throw in at half forward for South Bunbury over on the far side.
A lot of those South Bunbury big playmakers need to start getting their hands on the footy. Richie Bourne's just got a couple.
Yeah, he is starting to come into the game. Pedley and King. One down by Pedley. Ball's kicked forward by South Bunbury. They all come in it. No one can get a hand on it. Going to ground was Bill Sitch for Bunbury. Umpire says no kick, and there'll be a ball up for KFC just inside 50 for South. Up they go. One down by King. Bourne runs by. Pedley pulled it in, got it only as far as Heisman.
That's good battle, that, isn't it, Pedley and King?
Umpire
at the moment.
Go. Yeah, it is. Pedley's sort of winning more of the knocks now, I reckon. Up they go. King wins this one. Only as far as it. Well, he made it his opponent, and South and Bunbury have kicked it out. Woods getting after it, gets his head over it. Donkin dives in, Horsman with him. Ball goes over the boundary line, and now we're at half forward for the Bulldogs. So, just in front of that Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, Craney, which has Bunbury leading by 21 points. Would you have tipped this coming into this game?
No, Bunbury have done a terrific job in stopping the run of the Tigers.
Horsman takes it out of the ruck, then gets it on his left foot, dumps it forward.
Every possession that the Tigers have had, they're going to a one-on-one or a two-on-two, and that's been the highlight of their game so far this year. They've been able to create that space, create the overlap, and so far Bunbury have just shut that all off.
So it's right on centre wing on the far side, and it's going to be a ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. One down by Pedley. He's done very, very well. Taken there by Hawks and gets a handball away as he's brought to ground. Socket off the ground by Waldrop, but straight into an opponent. And Bunbury take it away. Again, King gets a handball away. Got it to Hawks. He's tackled by Baskerville. He just managed to get a kick out wide. Here comes Gilchrist. He is a smooth mover. Gets it on his right foot. Looks to the hot spot. It's a one-on-one. I think Horton's got another free.
And he's going to run it on open goal.
And he has picked it up, played on, and bang! Oh, Rocco was remonstrating, and Horton saw what was going on and just picked it up and walked into an open goal to get his fourth.
Gee, he's become a big headache down there because Bunbury have been able to get the ability to get a one-on-one down there, and they're moving the ball quickly enough so the South defenders can't get down to give him a hand. Don't forget, you haven't got a Crossman or a Gorder to come across and cut that ball off.
How long?
And they're in real trouble.
How long does Burgess wait before he makes a move?
Well, it'll be interesting, won't it? But where does the move come from? Maybe Horsman. In fact, right now.
Yes, it's happening.
Horsman.
I think the players have done it themselves, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good match-up for Southern Lock and Security. Horsman under, and that'll bring Versace. That's not a bad move because Versace likes to attack anyway.
And he looks like he's gone on to Woods.
But South Bunbury need to find an answer here. This is a pretty good lead already.
Up they go. This one's one down by King. Hall grabs it. He's tackled immediately. Oh, no, it was Field. Up they go. One down by King. Tries to rove his own ball. Umpire's going to ball it up. They're just in the middle of the ground still.
It's easy to judge the weather here. The crowd moves out, and then as soon as a sprinkle, they're back in. So
another ball up for KFC. One down by Pedley. Crane comes after it, goes hard at the footy, and it spills out to Riley. Goes on his left foot. Ball's tacked really well by Bellini. Field dribbles one, only as far as Crane, and then Riley hacks it forward on his left foot.
Look at the numbers back here, though.
Back in there was Creasy. He's tackled ferociously and brought to ground. The umpire said dangerous tackle. In fact, And South don't like the
Oh,
call.
there's 52.
Oh,
The discipline has to be there.
so that was Johnson that gave away the tackle, then asked a question and got given dissent, which I didn't think he did too much wrong. He might have sworn, so who knows. Umpire,
What has gone on now?
I'm not too sure. I hope there's not a yellow. No, it's another 50. Craney, he must have kept going on in the umpire's ear.
Wow, disciplines like that when you're 4 goals down on a gloomy day and you've just gifted the opposition a goal. That is double 50s. He's gone from the half-back line where the kick was given to right on the point of the square. Gee, I tell you what.
Dead in front, he's going to shoot from 15 out, and he's a class player.
They're in disarray, the Tigers, at the moment.
Absolutely. Goes on his left. Oh, it is hit the post.
The post.
And they'll be saying there are football gods. The South supporters.
I think the couple that give away the 250 metres might be just breathing a sigh of relief.
Galloway brings the ball into play on his left, finds Chitty, takes a diving.
But even looking out here, there was a 2-on-1. That kick had to be perfect.
Chitty goes up, tried to find Oliver, and Oliver was nearly cannoned into the fence. But he gets the ball off hands over the line. There'll be a ball in at half forward for Bunbury, just on this member's side. So ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. King and Pedley. It fell to Nordal. Riley has it, comes up the ground, and that's a good grab by Bain. Plays on immediately to Chitty, who can't get a handle on it. King gets the crumb, handballs it out to a teammate there in Hoy Moroney, clicking around the corner, and that's good work there by Galloway. Plays on his left foot. Gets it out there. Waldrop gets a fist in. It's going to pick up the crumb. Giving him close attention is Renton. Ball spills out there beautifully to Hall. He goes long and strong to the hot spot. Donkin underneath. Gilchrist gets the crumb on his right boot. Across the face, it's a behind. Oh, he's a smooth mover, Gilchrist, isn't he?
Tell you what, 10 scoring shots to 1, Macca. Yeah. This could have been... I mean, it's not in a good position for the Tigers at the moment, but this could be very, very sad.
I can't see how the breeze indicates that sort of advantage.
It doesn't. It's just the way Bunbury prepared to run.
The ball's brought back into play by Galloway. Chitty met it hard. Ball's on the deck. King gets up. He's done a lot of that today. Gets it to Hall. He eludes one. Throws it on his left foot. It's a bit of a mongrel. Coming at it hard was Jones for South Bunbury. Now the ball's back in the centre square. Kerwin picks it up and just thumps it to the hot spot, hoping for Horton. Horton gets a footy. No free kick this time. South Bunbury bring the ball out of defence, and Riley is the recipient with a mark outside 50.
But if you look up front, it is
good work by Sawyer.
Bustleton had got every out covered. Bunbury got every out. Not Bustleton, Macca. Bunbury got every out.
So here comes Riley on his left foot, down to the wing. They sit underneath it. Oh, nearly an excellent mark to Lane. Gets back after the footy. They're sitting on the ground. Chitty got it out to Crane. He fed it out by hand there to Bain, and he just thumps it to half forward, and Bourne's underneath it. Read it well. Takes a good chest mark. Still too far out. Getting back is Johnson on his own. The siren's beaten him. Kerwin put them under pressure. Kerwin was under immense pressure, but the siren beat a lot of them. Craney on the...
Oh, hang on. There's a kick. No, there's not a kick. There is a kick. What's happened here? I think
Johnson's got a kick for...
Johnson's got a kick after the siren.
Must have been infringed just as the siren went.
Gee, I tell you what, this is crucial for the Tigers.
Yeah, he'll need to use all his AFL experience here. He's not wasting any time. 45-degree angle, right side for a left footer, goes on his right, and the wind brings it back around. Great kick by Johnson to get his first for the day, and also South Bunbury's first for the day, and that was badly needed. 4-6-30 to 1-1-7, 23-point ball game in favour of the Bulldogs, who have dominated this quarter. That was on the scoreboard thanks to Southwest Isuzu.
That was, and I tell you what, South Bunbury got a bit of regrouping to do, Macca, and we'll come back after the break to see if they can do just that.
We clear, mate?
Not yet. Four goals, 6-30 to South Bunbury. 1 goal, 1-7. And that was a goal after the siren by Johnson that brought it back a little bit. but Bunbury just had numbers all around the footy. They had good players everywhere. Every time South Bunbury tried to come out of defence, it was hit by 2 or 3 Bunbury players, and they were perfectly set up, Macca.
Absolutely, and I think Bunbury's game plan of just getting the ball in as quick as they can and keeping all the forwards keeping away from Joel Horton, so he had some one-on-one, just created plenty of panic for Versace, and he got 4 goals, and 3 of them were from free kicks.
We're looking for the Hemp Brothers, Western Australia's most trusted hemp-based product, rising star. Young Gilchrist moves very well, doesn't he?
Oh, I like it. You know, it's a wet day. We've copped a couple of heavy showers already, but he just keeps his feet in the wet, and he's still got a little bit of a sidestep. Very hard to hold those players back on in these type of conditions. It's, you know, I did say earlier that it slows the game down, but the cream still rises to the top. And
the South need to get their big guns. They need to get Crane, Nordell in the middle with their hands on the footy. Bain,
they do.
Riley's done a bit. Piggett's done a bit on this wing, but the big guns need to get hands on footy.
And I'm just seeing Versace looks like he's gone back on Horton, so Burjo's sticking with him, mate. He's backing him to
well, I think that's himself. It's underway. Here's
no ruckman gets hands on it, but it's picked up there by Field, and he drives it forward inside 50. Horton can't pick up the footy. Now he does, Horton, he might get a leg on it. South Bunbury desperate, they're appealing for deliberate. Umpire says no, he was under enough pressure, was Crawford. So Galloway will bring the ball back into play.
And Jack Gallagher is number 22 for the Tigers.
Oh, that's a relief to know that one. Here comes Galloway, brings it in. It's a big, long
that's a bit of a roost.
Almost to the centre circle, set himself well there. Did Perks, but couldn't take the grab. They've picked up the ball through Creasy. He goes on his left foot, goes long to the square. Horton couldn't take the mark. There's legs and arms everywhere.
Gee, where was the pressure on Creasy there? He just about walked through that pack.
He's done it a couple of times. They play on immediately. Baskerville drops what he should have taken. Scott Horsman there takes the tackler on in King, gets a handball away, goes after it. Good soccer by Benny Horsman, the spare parts man. Gets it up to a teammate. Crane runs on. He's grabbed as he takes it. Nordell gets the footy, gets it back to Crane. He backs out of trouble and then spear passes it into Waldrett on the lead. Waldrett.
These are the 2 players, Crane and Waldrett, that need to get hands on the footy.
Waldrett's got Piggott in the middle, but it's not a great kick. The breeze took that. Piggott's good enough to butter up. Gets it to a teammate who just thumps it in there. Ball's in the square, but a very, very good mark to Bellini. Bellini to bring the ball out of defence for the Bulldogs. Standing underneath it was Jarvis, couldn't mark. Ball's in dispute. Umpires found a free kick, and it's going South Bunbury's way. And
Captain Kevin Chitty.
Chitty must have been infringed by Heisman when he was going to go for the football. So Chitty too far out to score, goes for the chip, but only as far as Hall, who intercepts, can't mark, but then gives it off to a teammate who brings it out of defence, and it pitches just in front of Scott Donkin and goes over the line. So Bunbury repel that one. That kick out there.
It wasn't the best kick from the captain.
From Perks. So
Bunbury have picked up the breeze a lot quicker than South Bunbury.
So we've got Pedley and King just here on centre wing in front of the commentary box. One down by Pedley. He's been holding his own. King, though, gets back on the ground. Bain tackles him. Ball's in dispute. They're on the edge of the centre square on this wing still. Umpire says, I'll have it. So suddenly a few players look like they've lifted their rating for South.
Yeah, I think so. It's just got that little bit of a look about it, and they need to.
Absolutely. Pedley and King, one down by Pedley. Good work, only as far as Perks on his left foot. Tumbles it forward. Baskerville holds his player, but coming out to meet it was Hawkes. Gets on his left foot, drives it, looking for Horton. Standing underneath it was Versace, got hands on it. Gets back underneath Baskerville with him, and the ball goes over the line. They're appealing for insufficient intent, but it'll be a ball in right next to the left point post down there in the forward pocket.
Big Joel Horton always looks dangerous, doesn't he? Got 4 in the first quarter.
Yep. Ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest. Yeah, they like him getting him one-on-one, But Versace looks like he's really determined now, Craney.
Well, he needs the midfield to tighten up there and put a bit more pressure coming through that. He doesn't need the ball coming to Horton in that vein.
Ball comes back into play. Horseman takes it out of the ruck. His kick is smothered. There's a kick into the square by Nitschke, and it just rolls across for another behind to Bunbury. So on the scoreboard, it's 4 goals, 9-33, 1 goal, 1-7.
We look at the peak performances, City and Regional Fuels, Macca. So far, it's been Bunbury, the peak performance.
Yeah, Joel Horton with 4 straight. They bring it back into play south. The Galloway, big long left, didn't quite connect, and there was a mark there by Field. Goes to centre half forward, and all on his own is Creasy. He's starting to become a factor, and he's at the top of the 50. Goes on his left foot looking for the big boys. They sit underneath it. No one can take the mark. Horseman's in there trying to throw his weight around. The ball comes out.
Windy.
Oliver. No, was it Oliver? No, it wasn't Oliver. It was Wright for South Bunbury. And anyway, Bunbury have ended up with there's a mark in the pocket to Gribble.
That was clever by Creasy too. He's shown his class out here today. He could have had a bit of a ping at that, well and truly capable, but Jesse Gribble moved out into a bit of a space, and it was a perfect little pop over the top to the star. Well, there's a bit going on in the goal square.
Horton went down and went over the top. Kick goes to the pocket. No one can mark. They bring it out of defence by Versace. Trying to go for the ball there is the 2 bald-headed badgers in Piggott and Hutchison.
That was good by Piggott.
Yeah.
That's what they needed, a bit of pressure on the ball carrier.
So the ball will be
A bit happened in the square down there too.
The ball will be coming back into play at half forward for the Bulldogs. Yeah, it did. Horton went down and then the South player went over him. One down by King, only as far as Crane. Fires out a handball to Riley, who was brought to ground. Umpire said holding the ball. That was Jarvis, rather. So free kick here to Field. He's just forward to centre wing. He goes long and strong, looking for Horton. Comes out and takes the mark. No answers. They had the players in the right position. He still got around it.
A little bit of a learning curve for the young fella in Galloway there. He stood back and waited for that to come, and he thought it was coming in. The big long arms of Horton come around the side of him and pinged it off.
45-degree angle. Right side for a left footer. Going to kick from about 45. In he comes Joel Horton for number 5. Puts it straight up and it goes straight over the umpire's hat. Joel Horton.
5 already.
Lucky it's raining because we would need to call the fire brigade because Joel Horton has set Payne Park alight.
I reckon this is a good turn to bring in, get that half-house fueling. Find the home climate control systems, air conditioning and fireplaces in half-house Bunbury and Busselton. Well, I tell you what, he doesn't need a fire because he is on fire.
Yeah,
5 goals in the first quarter.
He's on fire.
He is absolutely brilliant. And look, 5 goals, 9 on the Southwest Iduzu scoreboard. That is a big plus for them. Southwest run a fair bit at Bunbury, but Bunbury just got all the answers at the moment.
And I thought I might have been wrong with the breeze, but looks like the breeze is favouring the Bulldogs.
I think the ball is favouring the Bulldogs. They're getting numbers around the footy. They're winning the stoppages. And the inside 50s are just a landslide towards Bunbury.
So there's a ball up for KFC, and Ethan Nordell's gone into the ruck for South. One down by King. Bain picks up the football, goes out to Riley. He has Oliver in attendance. He gets it forward. Now he sockers it off the ground, Riley. Coming out to meet it was Jones. Nordell puts his head over the ball, gets it back to Chitty. He's pulled to the ground. Umpire says he will have it. And it'll be a ball up at half forward on the far side for the Tigers. Up they go. Nordell and King. One down, Bain. Brought to ground as he goes to kick it. Umpire says, I'll have it.
Can South find a spark from somewhere?
They need a goal, but they actually need a couple in a row. Up you go.
They need to get hands on the footy, I think, Macca. That'll be the biggest
holds
plus.
King out, but that will go down as a dangerous tackle. Possibly, no. So
he didn't do too bad because he held him in as he went down. It's a fine line nowadays.
Chitty let Creasy know that he's right with him. One down there by Nordell. Chitty and Creasy go at it again. Creasy breaks loose at the last second, but the umpire's blown his whistle, so we're going to have another ball up for KFC. Just on this half-forward flank for the Tigers. Up they go. King thumps the ball with his fist. It's only as far as Wright, and Wright was tackling. It'll be a ball up.
I'm loving the pressure that Bunbury are putting on the South. They're just not letting him move.
Umpire's found a free kick. He's pointing in the direction of Wright. So Wright takes the football, goes long. Wright looking for the hot spot. No one can mark. Johnson let out really well, but it's gone over the line. There'll be a throw in about 40 metres around from South Bunbury's goal. Throw in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. Let's see what South can make of this. One down by Nordal. No one can take it cleanly, except for Creasy. He got it out to Williamson, who drives it up the wing. Coming out as Parsons, can't mark. Horsman sees it over the line. So it's still just in between wing and half forward for the Tigers.
Yeah, there's no system going into that Tigers forward line, mainly due to the pressure of Bunbury putting on. They're very, very well structured.
That's right. They just can't find an easy way in. Nordal and King. King takes it out of the ruck. Got it to Oliver. Oliver tried to get it to Gribble, but his handball goes awry and it's over the line right on centre wing. So they're inching it forward now, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's all about making ground, isn't it? Conditions aren't too bad now, Macca.
And they'll be happy to chew up time too. Yeah, the sun's out. The wind will dry things off pretty quickly. The wind definitely seems to be favouring the port end. Looking at the hairstyles. There's Chitty. Got the ball out the back. Tries to fend off. Had a teammate running past him, Galloway, who kicked it, but then...
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the setup Bunbury have got. Every time a loose ball goes forward, they've got a two-man setup.
So King after the mark goes long on his right boot, up to the half-forward flank. There's a big fist. Galloway claimed the mark, but it came off hands first and caught the ground.
I think that's a little bit optimistic.
It was ambitious.
The Harvey Norman bench is going to be a three-way change here shortly
so
for Bunbury.
Be a ball up for KFC. Up they go. Nordal and King, no one, as Parsons actually, no one wins it. Picked up by Bain, got it to Riley, gets on his left boot, drives it up to the half-forward flank, getting back quickly or beautifully was, looked like it was Williamson, went the short pass, and there's a free kick being given to Oliver.
Julian Burgess, the coach of South Bunbury, is going to have his work cut out at half-time to try and get his side back into this contest. That's not the best kick.
Oliver on the half-back flank only got it as far as Riley, who was held without the football.
A lingering tackle, wasn't it?
He was pretty clever. Instead of going to grab it, he didn't take it, and so the player in Hawks was already committed and laid the tackle. As there's a mark there to right, just forward to centre wing for the Tigers.
But where they've been very good, the Tigers, all year, is their run past and their defensive. He's got nothing to go to here, so he's got to go short, which sets it up for Bunbury defence.
And Field just came in and absolutely walloped that. Bain needed to attack it. But Field read that exceptionally well and just smashed it across the boundary line and throwing it half back for South Bunbury. Sorry, for Bunbury. Ball to come back into play. It's going to be Parsons and Nordal go at it for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes.
Crowds all migrated out onto the stands again.
Yep. So Nordal can't win the football. Jarvis drives through, gets it to Bain. He's pulled up. He's got three of them. And they have just got a real mob mentality at the moment, the Bulldogs. They are not letting anything through.
No, they look like they've got numbers everywhere. Every time it comes back, there's a 2-on-1 against South. So South need to work out how to split this open.
Ball up for KFC. This one's one down by Nordal. Coming through is Jarvis. Got it on his left boot, but only as far as Creasy. Gets it on his left boot. Goes over the head of Gribble. Gathered by Calloway. Gets the handball to right and misses him, and it goes over the line. So there'll be a ball in on centre wing for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes.
Haven't wasted much page writing down the ink, putting down the South Bunbury goal kickers, Magga.
No, it's been very stark as Hawks goes to ground after... sorry, it's not Hawks. Yes, it is Hawks goes to ground after winning the football, and just as the crowd came out, they're sent back in because the rain's coming down here again at Payne Park. He goes inside 50.
At least they'll be fit.
Coming out to meet it was Nitsch. He couldn't mark. And the ball goes over the line to be a throw in about 40 metres around from Bunbury's goal for KFC.
And we're working through this quarter, 14 scoring shots to 2.
Now it's become the slog that we thought it might have been. So Jamin King gets Nordal out the way, wins the ball, then misses the kick. Bain got it out somehow to Riley, who went to kick the footy and missed it, and umpire said incorrect disposal.
It's just that pressure. They just cannot move, the Tigers. They haven't been under this much pressure so far this season.
Umpire tells Field to go behind the mark. He's just going to go long and strong to the goal square. Gets fairly good connection, but Galloway comes out and marks it on his chest. Playing all right, the young fella. Gets it out and finds Riley, still inside D50. He's coming back looking for options. Dribbles one along the ground on his left. It skids. Well attacked there by Jones. He got it to a teammate who tumbles it forward. Getting there is Williamson. Taps it out there looking for Perks. Perks has his body over the ball. They all come in, stacks on the mill, and there'll be a ball up.
How are Bunbury getting those numbers back into defence? That's something South Bunbury going to have to work out on. Every time they go back in there, it's just Bunbury jumpers everywhere.
It's definitely a plan, and it's just forward to centre wing for the Tigers. Ball's one down by Parsons. Picked up by South, got it as far as Johnson, and Riley's all on his own. Throws it on his left boot. It goes up and under. They come out and meet it. That was really good work by Quaife. Met it with his boot and it dribbled across the line, and it'll be a ball in just forward to centre wing for the Tigers again. And it is persisting down here, Croney.
Yeah, I'm glad we're sitting in here actually, Macca.
There's a rainbow in the background. Don't know what that means.
There's a pot of gold under the Bunbury goal line.
We'll have to go and have a look for it at half time.
Joel Horton, 5 goals for the quarter already, for the game.
That was a very, very funny throw in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes, and I think they might have to go and do it all again. It might have flicked out. Oh no, they're just going to ball it up, Croney.
No, going to throw it in again.
Well, yeah. So they'll try it all again. Parsons, and it was Parsons and Jones. Ball comes back. Creasy overruns it. Johnson is coming up the ground, gets the ball to boot. They're trying to get him into the game. Heisman picks up the ball, but the whistle's gone. Umpires found a free kick to South Bunbury.
You get the feeling if South get a goal, it's just going to be more the...
Nordal was held when he went to try and get the football. He's outside 50. He finds a chip pass and spots up Riley inside 50. He's still 40 metres out. Plays on quickly, looking for a leading player. Quaife misses the mark. Perk picks it up. Got it back to a teammate who thumped it out, and then waiting there was... Is it Hutchison?
Johnson.
No, it's Johnson. Takes the mark on the chest.
So South's only goal kicker?
Yep.
This will take his very best effort too, I think.
45-degree angle, and he'll kick from about 45.
Very experienced, and say it's a needed goal would be an absolute understatement.
Oh, yes.
Macca.
Do they what? They need to at least halve this quarter, Craney. In he comes. Let's go on a right boot for 45. It's a bit of an ugly mongrel floater. He dropped it very high. It's like it slipped out of his hand as he kicked it, and it's a point.
Yeah, that was far from perfect for the big fella. Made the distance all right, though. But even though this heading into the forward line, it's a bit of a jag at the minute.
Heisman brings it back into play, and we've been accustomed to his long drop.
That's a great grab.
Beautiful mark over the back to Woods.
I'm putting that down for one of the CPR outdoor mark of the day.
I would, mate. And then he comes down the wing, a low pass. No one can mark it, and the ball goes out of play. Just forward to centre wing for the Bulldogs. Looks like there's a bit of blue sky out the back there, Craney. Ball to come back into play. Parsons and Jones. It's one down by Parsons. And then Creasy has the ball, and he's pulled down, and it'll be a ball up. Now for KFC. Parsons and Jones again. This one down by Jones, thumps it forward. Coming at it was Piggott, couldn't grab it. Jones butters up, gets it to Bain. Wrong foots his opponent. Back to Jones, tries to spiral it forward. It's a bit of a mongrel. It goes inside 50 and beats Bourne across the line. So these are the days where you're frustrated as a forward. So just try and get it to the contest like Bunbury have been and let the little fellas do the work on the ground.
Yeah, they've just outplayed them around the contests.
It's a 31-point ball game on the Isuzu Southwest scoreboard. Up they go. Ball's in dispute. Bain tries to get the handball away. South Bunbury get it forward. Overrunning it was Lane. Soccering off the ground is Waldrett and he gets one. Badly needed
much
goal.
needed.
Badly needed goal by the Tigers. Kane Waldrett, opportunist, trying to get involved. Gets his first for the day and South Bunbury's second.
Look, the strange part of it, the South Bunbury have been outplayed to the max, but with the scoreline, I mean, it's 14 scoring shots to 4, which should be insurmountable, but there's only 3 or 4 goals back in it. They score another one before half-time, and maybe you'd give them a bit of a sniff.
Yeah, and they've both got 1 goal for the quarter.
It's just the worrying thing for South, it's all just push, rush, and there's no real system to it going into forward. When Bunbury going forward, they actually look dangerous every time they go into their forward 50.
They've got a real plan, and they seem to get a real penetration on the ball, and Horton getting those one-on-ones. But Horton's still handling the ball very well too. Rightio, back to the middle of the ground. It's going to be Jones and Parsons. Parsons wins this one. Coming back is Riley, starting to come into the game. Slams it on his left. It's up and high. Goes over the back. Nordal meets it. Crane now in and under. They appeal for a free kick, but the umpire says, I'll have it.
And South have pushed Johnson up, and they push Richie Bourne back for a bit of a one-out contest. Not a bad idea in the wet.
Yep. One down by Jones. Crane can't get hold of it. Bain does. Gets it to Riley. Another left foot tumbler forward. They come out to meet it. Good mark on the chest of Perks. He plays on his left foot and he finds a teammate there in Bilsich. He's been busy. Bilsich comes up the ground to the half back flank. Coming out to meet it was Woods. Did quite well. Now Woods is going to find the footy. Gets a handball out to no one in particular. It's picked up there beautifully by South Bunbury. Comes back to Baskerville, who's pretty cool and calm in a crisis. Bain gets a hand on it. Here's Crane to Bain. Bain ties it up, and it'll be a throw up half forward member side for the Tigers. If they can pinch another one here, Craney, it'll be really important for them and for the game.
If they pinch another one here, they get out of this half in a lot better shape than what they do.
One down by Parsons. Big kick forward there by Bunbury, and underneath Versace takes a chest mark, a juggled chest mark. That was Gilchrist that kicked it forward. It goes now inside 50 and Lane comes out and takes a mark on his chest.
Go back and kick the goal, son. Can we put that one down to his CPR outdoor mark?
Well, he came out and met it hard, juggled a bit of a chest mark. He's now on a 45-degree angle right side for a right footer, so he's going to have a crack at goal from here. If he can get it, we might even give this one for Western All Pest Services too. In he comes.
We'll give it a peak performance. Well, City and Regional Fuels. Let's give it a lot.
Gets inside 50 from 48. It's not a bad looking
drop. That is an excellent
I'll tell you what, Western All Pest Services will like that one for chances for goal of the day. Well done to Tyson Lane. And suddenly, South Bunbury have 3 out of the last 4 goals of the game, Craney.
They have it, that Macca, and it's interesting game we've had because they've been totally outplayed and they've been in every aspect and just worked their way into the ground. And I think the scoreboard attendant may have that the wrong way around up there on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. It is 5-9-39
That's for all our,
to E2.
That's for all the people at the ground with dyslexia. We're just trying to show that we're inclusive. But 5 goals, 9-39. Bunbury to South Bunbury, 3 goals to 20, 19-point ball game on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. So we're back in the middle of the ground. We've got a game on.
It's very cloudy at the city end there too.
Lachlan Riley's got his hands on in the last 10 minutes and making a difference as Crane bursts through and gets it to Riley. Riley goes forward. Waldrett couldn't mark it. And then Kerwin repels the ball and gets it back up to the wing. Hall tackles Baskerville to the ground after he couldn't grab the ball, and there'll be a ball up just inside the centre square on the far side, right in the wing type position. Up they go. Players falling down. Everyone's falling over. Craney and peeling for free kicks. It's going to be another ball up just inside the corridor here, just outside the centre circles. It's one down there by Nordal. Handball comes over the top from right, got it to Bain, but he was wrapped up pretty quickly.
We just talked about that cloud coming in. The crowd all moved back in under cover.
Rightio, Nordal wins this one down. Chitty gathers the ball, puts it out to the wing. Riley sets after it, but it looks like it could have been out on the full, was it?
It was.
And Dylan Heisman. And we know he's got a fair old shoe on him, so he'll bring the ball back into play as this rain comes down again.
Yeah, this could be a serious shower coming over by the look of that as well.
Yeah, it was looking as black as midnight over the back there. Might have to turn the lights on, Craney.
Oh, might have to.
Rightio.
Just for our benefit.
Heisman goes long on that right boot. Gets it just to the top of 50. Galloway read it best. Couldn't mark the foot. He was a valiant effort.
Oh,
and the ball's tumbled forward. Getting out after it on his own is Woods. He's quickly rounded in by Benny Horsman. And there'll be a ball in 10 metres around from the...
That was good by Horsman then.
Bunbury
He
goal.
realised the danger of that and seen it over the boundary line, but they're still in danger, the Tigers.
So Horsman and Horton. Horsman wins it down. It's picked up by Hall. Gets a foot on it, but it's all smothered. It's very messy. Oh, my goodness me. Over the line.
Oh, right
Just on the siren. And that was Nitschke off the ground. That was Nitschke off the ground, the long sleeve player. Over the line, and they've got it home. Fantastic work by Bunbury on the siren. Craney, it's not pretty footy in the conditions, but we've had some very big moments.
We have it, that, Macca, and I tell you what, interesting first half, but South have got a lot of work to do at this half-time break to work out a bit of a plan of attack. To start winning the footy around the contest would be a good start. We'll be back after the break to see if they can do that. The coverage, SEN Spirits coverage of the South West Football League, thanks to KFC and our good mates at Dale Alcock Homes. Of course, your halftime break was brought to you by the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill, Bunbury's iconic beach bar and grill. It's a great spot to have a bit of a feed and a quiet ale. Macca, the second quarter, South Bunbury are back on the field, as are Bunbury. Bunbury would be very, very confident with that first half. They outplayed South Bunbury in just about all manners. South Bunbury are not on top for no reason. They can actually play the game, but I love the way Bunbury just shot all the exits, South Bunbury exits off. They shut their main ball carriers out of the game too. So let's see if they can work their way back into it.
It's their intensity that the Bulldogs are bringing. Like Jamin King isn't winning the ruck knocks and necessarily against Pedley and Nordal, but he's getting on the ground and picking the ball up and just taking ferocity through the contest. They have 3 or 4 players around each contest just pouncing on a South Bunbury player every time they get the ball. It's the energy and the intensity that they're bringing. Even that last goal there, it could have trickled across the line. Cooper Nitschke just threw a foot at it. We still have no clarity whether it was Perks that kicked it, but I'm giving it to him at the moment.
Yeah, he's got it in your books.
Yeah.
Look, it's going to be interesting from now. I said at the start of the game when I watched Bunbury run out, they run out as a good unit, and I said that South Bunbury come out and dribbles now. I know it doesn't mean anything as such, but I think it does. I think when you're switched on, you come out as a group, and they've played like that. They had no run and option. They've been known for that so far this year. I know the weather closed in a bit on those times, but there were options where the ball carrier just had nowhere to go and he just had to bang it on his boot, and it played into Bunbury's hands because they looked, to tell you the truth, they looked like they had 30 players on there. That's how hard they were running.
Just quickly, Craney, who do you like for WA Carpet Supermarket Player of the Day at this point in time?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Joel Horton would be pretty hard to go past, wouldn't he? 5 in the first half. Their midfielders, Donkin's gone into the midfield for Bunbury. So their midfield, that's where South Bunbury need to find some find some dominance.
I thought Creasy had a really good second quarter, and I liked Gribble and Hall's first quarter as
Here's
well.
an interesting. So Johnson's gone into the ruck, the big full forward.
Trying to get him into the game.
They've changed. Jones is in there. Riley's in there, so they've changed their midfield a bit to try and get a bit of oomph out of there. You're listening to SEN Spirit's coverage of the Southwest Football
Jones into the ruck
League, and we are just about to start the second half in the Derby. And here is Darren McDonald.
Jones and King, one down by Jones. King gathers the ball as he's done all day off the deck, and he's won a free kick. Johnson throws his head back in just disbelief.
You've got to be careful doing that now. You even blink.
Well, he gave a kick away before his King goes inside 50. Coming out to Horton, overruns it. South Bunbury get it out via Horsman on his right boot. Bain runs by, receives a handball, gets to the wing and lets go on a drop punt. Gets up there to centre half forward or on the half forward flank, and it rolls out over the line just outside 50.
Who kicked it? Jesse. Oh. I can tell you, Jesse Kerwin kicked that last goal.
Are you kidding me? No, it wasn't. He wasn't even down that end. Rightio. Ball to come back into play. Right at the junction of the 50 and the boundary line on the far side for the Tigers. One down by Jones. Chitty gathers it up. Got it to Johnson. Tumbles it forward. Nordell can't grab it. He's come out with the long sleeves after half time. Ball. He's gone to the forward line, so he's not very hopeful if he's gone forward and he's come out in the long sleeves. So, ball up just inside 50 for KFC. The Tigers end. Ball's off the ground and coming out is Waldred on the chest.
Luck's a fortune here. Gee, this will be a big one for the Tigers as rain is starting to come down rather heavily, Darren McDonald.
So, is it what? So, Waldred, he's already got one. Was an opportunist goal off the ground. He's come in at the right moment there for that kick off the ground. He's taken a sliding chest mark. He's dead in front, and he's going to kick it from about 35 metres. Cade Waldred, very deliberate approach, off his left boot. Umpire goes a little bit to the left, and it looks like it might be over the post. Craney?
Yeah, look, he put a fair bit into that. It was a beautiful kick off the boot. Just the direction wasn't there. Pretty tough kick that, actually, heading into that rain.
Yeah, rain, wind. We'll get hail and snow shortly.
As long as it doesn't have that lightning like last year.
Even the ball boy out the back can't get it back over the fence. Heisman's about to jump over there himself and grab it. It's still.
That was a bit of a mission in a row.
Oh, far out Brussels sprout. Dylan Heisman to bring the ball back into play.
I reckon that bloke won't do that again. He got pretty wet doing that.
He goes out to the half-back flank on the far side. Ball skids through. Horsman overruns. It was Wright that overran it. It's slippery now, and it is going to turn into a real slog as Nordell brings Field to the ground, and Field's got a shoulder strap that wasn't strapped before half time, and he's playing pretty well. Ball grabbed there by Oliver. He thumps it forward. Getting back first is Versace, but the ball beats him over the line. So Versace's come up to centre half back by the looks of things, and Horsman taking the dangerous Horton. It's going to be a ball in at half forward for the Bulldogs. Back it comes. One down there by Wood. He got it as far as Gilchrist. The ball goes up in the air. Slapped on there by Chitty. Goes through his hands. Baskerville lets the ball go by. Now he comes and picks it up, Baskerville. He's met with an absolute barrage of Bunbury Bulldogs. Scotty Donkin being one of those. And you don't want to get hit by Scotty Donkin on a day like today as Baskerville got a free kick. Got it out to Galloway, who just tried to punch it forward. Gallagher couldn't take the mark. He finds himself with the footy now. Umpire's found a free. This time here going to Williamson, who's been pretty good, the young Williamson. Up they go, and coming out on the chest was Versace. I reckon William...
Oh, no, he's played on.
Oh. So...
Let's let Creasy in.
Creasy goes out the back, and being read well by Horsman, who took the mark, he now comes out. Oh, Pigott had to stop and wait, and Heisman came through with the fist and just slammed it over the line.
Geez,
just saying before about Williamson, he is a big chance for our rising star thanks to the Hemp Brothers, Western Australia most trusted hemp-based products.
I don't know, we're talking about Health House. They can nearly light the fire in the commentary box here. It's dropped a couple of degrees.
Oh, geez, Croney, I need something to fire me up because I can't pick these players to save myself today.
It is getting a bit dull out there.
Well, Horton wins that ball down. Riley's first to arrive. Ball's flicked out there. It found field. Got a handball back to Gribble. Here goes King off the ground with his right boot. It's in the air. Horsman's back. Umpire's found a free. And it's
Ben Horsman, I think. No,
it's going to Versace. Plays on immediately to Galloway on his left. It's a chip pass, and they've mucked it up. Tried to get it to Riley. He's good enough to get a tap out to a teammate in Johnson, who just thumps it forward as best he can. Williamson missed the knock in front of Jones, and South Bunbury get the ball forward again up the wing, but only.
Is that heavy showers? Started to move across.
It was only as far as Renton, who's now just kicked the ball as far as he can. Ball's overrun by Hawks. Jones is with him for company. Riley has the ball and goes bang on the left. Sitting underneath it was Lane, couldn't mark it. Perks head over the ball. Lane manages to get it forward with a toe. Bourne, can he do something clever? Tries to dummy. Now gets on his right boot. Kicks it up inside 50. Players falling down like 9 pins. Bunbury get the ball out of the fence. It's at centre forward now. Clean bowls Chitty. Here comes Donkin. Keeps his feet. Tries to bar through, but Johnson brings him down, and that's holding the ball.
That was a good tackle there. Unfortunate for Donkin. He just lost his feet at the last minute.
Here goes Johnson. Plays on right boot. Ball goes low inside 50. Didn't get great connection. It's a good effort there by Renton. Picked it up for the Bulldogs and gets it out of defence. They're all trying to claim held. Picked up by Bain. Drives it in and a good mark on the chest to Lane. He's dead in front and will kick from about 40.
Yeah, it's just a bit of luck, your fortune. You really got to get your body behind the footy, don't you? A couple of times there, the players just let it slip between their legs. It's a whole new ball game now.
Ball will be getting a bit heavy, Croney. We've had the rain, slippery conditions. You've got to play in front.
And you've got to be able to bend your back.
Absolutely. Here comes Tyson Lane. He's kicked a nice goal already. He gets to 40. Right boot, dead in front. Ball's going across the face and it's thumped through. Umpire's found a free kick. And it's going to Waldrop for being infringed in the contest. Jeez. I didn't know if there was much in that, Craney.
No, well, that's right. I was sort of looking back at the setup. The Bunbury are set up to come out and how South was setting up. So, look, Waldrop's got a chance. Going to kick around the corner. Can he put this through?
He's favoured left and he's gone right across the face for a behind.
Only just lucky to sneak that behind in, I think.
Two behinds to Kay Waldrop from set shots that he would have absolutely swallowed on a dry day.
Yeah, can't be too critical over there because that was a very heavy shower of rain that just went across us.
Yeah.
It's a funny day, isn't it? Because the sun is, rainbows are out again.
Audio Heisman. He's going to bring the ball back into play. This ground, still no puddles forming on it, Craney.
No, it's quite good like that.
He gets it out to the far half-back flank. They all go up. No one can mark. Horsman's over the back. There's been a free kick given going to South Bunbury, and it's going to Galloway. Infringed.
He's been very good. We talk about rising star for Hemp Brothers Western Australia, but he's really put his hand up today.
In defence. He plays on now. Tries to get around Wood and does so. Goats up high on the left. They stand underneath it. And, Lane nearly plucks it. The ball's in dispute now. Lane getting after it again. Does rake it in. Can't get it out as it starts to really come down hard now, the rain. Crowd starting to really lift and play apart. Gallagher takes the football.
That is
Bunbury
tough out
trying
there.
to get it forward. Williamson tries to paddle it. It's still at half forward for the Tigers. No one can get a handle on it. Came out to Hall. Got it there to Creasy. He can't handle the footy either. Bain goes out of the pack. Ball's at the top of the Tigers 50 and Johnson wraps up Perks and there'll be a ball up. Just at the top of the Tigers 50. One down by King. Picked up by Wright. He goes back to Jones and he's wrapped up immediately by the Bunbury Bulldogs. Just inside 50 for the Tigers, and this is hard work, Alan.
It is very, very tough out there to break it open. Oh, that was
Jones
a solid
comes
play.
through, picks up the ball, brought to ground. Umpire says, play it on, boys. Riley has it. He's wrapped up. That ball isn't going anywhere. Bunbury still persisting with this fierce tackling.
Quicker round the grounds, Dunsborough 4-3-27, League Collie 3-3-21 at half-time, thanks to Geograph Civil.
One down by King, only as far as Bain. He got it back to Riley, who gets on his left foot. They stand underneath. Heisman takes
That's a good grab.
A chest mark, then dealt with unfairly when he gets rid of it by Gallagher. And yes, it is a 50-metre penalty. That was late. Cranian on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. It's Bunbury 6-9-45, leading the Tigers 3-4-22.
Well, you need to hold
points.
your discipline, don't you? And especially in days like this, every inch is worth nothing. And now we're going to Horton's having a crack at it.
Yeah, he's overrun it. Piggott gets back, can't get a handle on it. Here goes Versace. Umpire's found a free kick and it's gone to Piggott. So Piggott.
Where's the run from the Tigers?
He's looking out to the outer side. Just puts a pass outside 50 and Bunbury pounce on that. That was Field on the right boot. Horsman gets back to pick the ball up just inside the field of play, kicks it in to Gribble and it comes off hands. And it'll be a ball in 25 metres around from the Bulldogs' goal.
It's been a while since I've seen the Tigers turn the ball over as much as this. That is purely because Bunbury have applied enormous pressure.
Oh, so it's a ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. It's a pretty flat throw-in by the ump. They managed to get it through to the Bulldogs. Galloway has it again on his left boot and just goes bang out to the outer side. Kerwin can't quite mark it. Ball's on the ground. Getting after it's Jones, and then he just toes it forward off the ground. Nordal, he's going at it hard with Quaife. Nordal tries to get it from Quaife, does very well. Gets a handball back to Kerwin, had to sit and wait. Gets a foot on it the last second. Umpire says play on. It's soccer, lands in Johnson's lap. He goes around the corner quickly. Piggott can run onto it. Coming out to meet it was Bourne. He should have let Piggott keep going. Umpire's found a free kick, and it's going the Bulldogs' way of Williamson. He's the rising star for us, Craney, so far for me. Heisman taps it over the back, gets it to Parsons. Parsons handballs it back to Heisman. Drives it long down the wing, puts it in front of Woods, and it just goes out of bounds, actually on the full.
It was interesting a couple of minutes ago, South Bunbury, two players ran straight towards the goals and left their 1-on-3 in the contest, and of course the three Bunbury blokes won out.
The kick in by Versace is a wonderful mark there by Parsons. Right on the far wing. Parsons leans back on it and goes with a long drop punt. Riley gets a fingernail on it. And really, Galloway should have either called him out of it or told him to mark it because Galloway was going to mark that on the chest. Whoa, 23 points in favour of the Bulldogs, Craney.
Yeah, not much action happening on that scoreboard in reflection to South Bunbury's chase.
Days like today, an early lead is imperative. Parsons wins it down, cops a whack in the face. Hall goes to ground. Bulldogs surge it forward. Now they hold it up. That's Chitty in underground. They need the captain to lead with real fierce tenacity if they're going to get themselves back into this.
On days like today, it's nice being up here, Macca, let's be honest.
Absolutely. Ball goes up. Jones and Parsons. One down by Jones. Chitty gets a toe on it out. Got it to Baskerville. He handballed it forward, but it came back straight at them. Jones working really hard. Baskerville in there again. Flying in there's Crane. And it's just inside 50 for the Bulldogs. There'll be a ball up. Do you like that, Craney? Flying in there was Crane. Up they go. One down by Jones. Picked up by... Well, I think it was it was Field. And
it's relentless out there.
Sawyer picked it up and was brought to ground.
Yeah, two sides having a fair dinkum crack at this.
Yeah, centre half forward for the Bulldogs. Comes to Bain, gets it on his left, tumbles it forward, and getting out after it's Gallagher. Right with him is Williamson. Two young fellas going at it hard. Right. Copped one in the nether region, and he's suffering. Cranian, I'd hate to be him right now.
Not overly amused about all that.
Umpire not letting Riley play on. He's not showing much empathy for his teammate either, Lachlan Riley. Oh, poor old Wright. I think he might have copped one in the left. So
You're very sympathetic, Macca.
He's all right. We've all been there at some point, especially when you're shearing those big rams, Craney.
Yeah. Well, that's I was going to say a good grab, but he didn't
contest
quite.
on the wing. The Bulldogs managed to get the ball out. That's good work by Creasy. Got it to Kerwin and he rolls it forward, and that's nearly a good mark on the Chester Gilchrist. It's being kicked out by Horsman somehow, but that's very, very good work by South Bunbury as they chip the ball inside, and that's a good mark on the Chester Gilchrist.
Yeah, they're just clever at the moment. Bunbury, I love the way they just line up and they have options coming through that centre.
Rightio. So, Gilchrist.
Normally a very good kick at goal is young Gilchrist.
Almost dead in front, just to the left of centre and on the left footer side, but should be no trouble. He'll kick from about 40. In he comes. Let's go on that right boot. Leans back on it. Umpire likes it. And it's another one to the Bulldogs. 7-9-51 to 3-4-22 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Yeah, they have all the answers, the Bulldogs. South Bunbury are trying hard to work their way back into this game, but to no avail. Every time they work very hard to get in the forward 50, Bunbury just got a beautiful system running out. I just mentioned that their overlap is absolutely outstanding. There's always someone running on the outside. They're winning around the centre breaks, and they're just putting South Bunbury under an enormous amount of pressure every time South Bunbury go forward.
It's been a real slog this quarter, and South Bunbury have had their opportunities with Waldrop missing too, but going back calmly and using all his class, Gilchrist slots that one from 40.
Thanks to MGIB. Like a good neighbour, MGIB is there.
It's one down by Chitty, got it to Waldrop, who came out and gave it out the back to Gallagher. He got it on his boot as far as Bain. Bain shrugged it off and then thumps it forward on his right. Out they come. What can they make of this? It's well done by Perks. Had two guys at it, got it to Kerwin, and he's pushed as he kicked it. Piggott is the beneficiary of that crumb on the boundary line. It goes high to the square, but thumping it through is Borlini. Didn't even think twice, played the percentages, and that's why the Bulldogs are in front.
Yeah, even then, two push back there nicely into defence. Their work rate is fantastic. They're prepared to push back very, very hard.
Kerwin to bring the ball back into play. Goes out to the outer side. Gets it outside 50. They fly. No one can mark. Waiting at the bottom was Oliver. Got a handball up there to Nitschke. He's tackled. Gets rid of it in time. The umpire said it was high. He's awarding a free kick. Oh, no. It was out of bounds. So it's going to be brought back into play for Dale Alcock Southwest Homes on the half-forward flank for the Tigers. In they come. Wood and Chitty. Is one down by Chitty. Then Chitty's cleaned up. Ball is socked forward by the Bulldogs. Getting out after it there was Crawford to Horsman, who got it on the boot. Riley taps it on. Picks it up now. Goes backward by hand to Crawford. Crawford has it here on the members' wing and goes back on his left and goes to centre half forward. Coming out his lane, running hard at it. That's a great gather in the wet. Tries to get around on his left. Gets a handball away. Bulldogs through Perks. Perks hung on to his turn 360. Umpire says play on. Oliver picks it up. Tackled by Jarvis. And there will be a throw in.
That was good persistence by Tyson Lane, wasn't it? He put the alpha burners on. That was two good young players. Actually, the Bunbury tackle was good.
It really was. And there's going to be a ball in at half forward for the Tigers on that far side. Chitty and King. One down by Chitty. Crane's in underneath. Gets a handball to Chitty. Chitty gets a little bit of space. Goes on his right boot on the outside. They find it. Nordell. It's gone over the back. Running into an open goal is Bain. And South Bunbury get a much-needed goal, and this game's still alive, Alan.
Yes, surprisingly, you're exactly right, Macca. That you'd think the Bulldogs have been all over South Bunbury, but they're just hanging in there a little bit. Mind you, they need to find a pathway to goal a lot easier than what they have, and that was probably the best little effort there. A nice little handball out of the pack. Just set up a loose man, and the first time they've found anyone loose for most of the afternoon.
Yeah, Crane was in the bottom of the pack and was able to get it out to Chitty, who was able to find a little bit of space. He put on the afterburners and went on the outside of the right boot. He should have used his left, but then got it to the stoppage, and Bain in the right place at the right time over the back.
Mind you, it's still a fair way back for South Bunbury. They'd need a peak performance, wouldn't they, from City and Regional Fuels?
It's only, what is it, Craney? 22 points.
22 points, yes.
Yeah. So away they go. Picked up by Chitty. Gets a handball back to Waldrett. Waldrett handballs it back to the traffic. Johnson grabs it, throws it on his right boot. He's been quite active in the middle this quarter. Getting back after the footy was rent, he almost threw it with his back tap. Head over the ball. Is the Bunbury player trying to claim a free kick. Umpire having none of it.
Just another one here by South of bringing life back into it.
Yeah, it will make it a little bit interesting. Chitty, I think young Pedley must have hurt himself because he hasn't rucked for a fair while. So it's one down by King. Donkin tries to kick it out of the pack, then bulldozes his way through as only Donkin can. Sawyer gets a ton of Crane head over the ball. Quaife. Kerwin gets a snap out of the pack, rolling towards the boundary line. Riley is the beneficiary of the crumb. Goes back inside with class on his left. Gets out the back to Baskerville. He picks it up. Goes long and strong to the square. Here's Lane underneath it. Can't mark. Coming at it hard was Bain. He's been really good this quarter. It's scrap. It stacks on the mill and they tie it up. Just 25 metres out from the Tigers' goal.
We need to flick these lights on too, I reckon, Macca.
I don't know if anything would help me today, Craney. I could be standing right next to it and I'd be stuffing it up, I reckon.
With a GoPro.
Up they go. It's one down by Chitty. The Tigers have sprung to life. Nordell throws it on his left and it's out on the full. But they look to be a little bit more decisive and have upped their ante, Craney.
Well, they need to be. They've been outplayed for most of the afternoon. Still a fair bit of work to do by the Tigers.
Heisman. He heaves the ball out to the half-back flank. Standing over the back's Versace and takes a chest mark that falls in his lap.
That was beautifully read.
What will they do? Versace on his right boot goes to the hot spot. They sit under the line!
Oh,
there you go, Craney.
Where's our mark of the day?
About the
CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day. Put that one down. I'm going to put a row around that. That was a beauty.
Yes, right in the frame.
Gee, that was a good grab.
And to his credit, Craney, he's actually been going for him all day.
Yeah, well, worth a crack at him in these conditions. That was a fantastic grab.
Dead in front, 35 out. This for 2 in a row for the Tigers. In he comes, off the right boot. Umpire likes it. Laney likes it. Craney goes to Laney, and they're high-fiving all over the place.
Wow, that was. I thought we were going to struggle to get a CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day, but he put his hand up for that. I love the way he just had eyes on the footy and he just went for it. As you said, Macca, it's easy to sort of get a bit waylaid by these conditions, but he was up and about. That was a beauty. One for the highlight rolls. Jared O'Brien, I know you're sitting out there and I know you do your highlight reels. We'll take that one to the Bank of Queensland.
7-9-51 to 5-5-35 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, Craney. And you would talk about the CPR Outdoor mark of the day. I thought we were going to have to give South Bunbury CPR halfway through this quarter to get them going. But they are well and truly into it.
We're looking for the tackle of the day through the Bunbury Murray service.
One down by King. Suddenly Waldrett's in their lane of tackle. Field goes down and there'll be a ball up.
I haven't mentioned that, Matka. The Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the game. There's been a lot of them put in today.
There's been a million tackles, mainly by the Bulldogs. As we've just had a KFC ball up. There's a field miscues with the kick, and then Waldrett picks it up, gets it to his left boot, but it's gone Bulldogs' way. Well attacked there by South Bunbury, and that's a beautiful kick to Piggott, who drops what he should have taken. He gets a handball over the top to Chitty, who also fumbles. Then he does a spiral torpedo punt pass to Riley. Riley comes aboard. Now they're trying to be too cute. Bain, he's been terrific this quarter. Tumbles it into forward. There's Crane. Gets it back to Gallagher. Picks it up really well. Then tumbles it forward. Doesn't clean bowl the Bulldogs, though, as Kerwin takes a mark in the back pocket.
Gee, that defender there was good. Was that Creasy?
Couldn't quite see Craney, but Kerwin brings it out. Going over the back was Crawford. Piggott has the ball. On his left foot, goes to centre forward, but marking on his chest was Oliver for the Bulldogs. Now he goes out to the wide to the wing, finds Donkin's chest, and that's a lot of chest to find. He wheels around on the left boot, goes to the hot spot looking for Horton. Standing underneath, and a good man-on-man contest is won by Horsman. Gets it to Sawyer, brings it out to Baskerville. Baskerville puts it on the chest of Crawford, and the Tigers are really lifting, Craney.
Yeah, look, that's been a good contest down there, hasn't it, Horton and Horsman?
Crawford gets Waldron. He can't mark it. He's got to beat 3. Hits the ball hard. It's picked up there by Field. Gets it to Perks. Now Kerwin does a little dance step. Goes inside. Found Nitschke. It's then gone to Donkin, and then coming at it again was Gilchrist. There's pressure everywhere. Crawford has it for the Tigers.
Nice
Sees Gallagher all on
composure.
his own. Gathers well on the right boot up the wing. We've got a good bit of play here, and that's a good mark by Creasy.
He shows a bit of class, doesn't he, Harry Creasy?
Absolutely he does. He's right on the edge of the centre square on this members' wing, goes inboard and finds Perks. Perks takes off, right boot, drives it into Horton. Horsman right with him. I think it was a holding free.
Yeah, it'll go to Horton.
You know what? I reckon he had his hand there, and I reckon Horton might have jammed his elbow down just to make it look like he was holding.
I think that was a very experienced free kick.
Yep.
And look, if you're good enough to do that, well, that's a credit to you. Yeah. And well within range. He'll be kicking for, after the siren too.
Oh, not another one. We've had 3 goals after or on the siren today, Craney, if he kicks this.
This is a massive kick. Yeah. In the context of this, because as you said, the Tigers were coming back. Umpire just has a word with him.
And the breeze is gone, Craney, pretty much.
There's something going on. The umpire's having a bit of a chat.
Don't give away a 50.
Joel Horton will line up from right on the 50.
Dead in front. In he comes. Goes bang from 51. He's given it everything he's got. It hasn't made the distance, and the South Bunbury defender sees it over the line. That was good thinking there by Galloway.
And welcome back to SEN's coverage of the Southwest Football League. We're ready to start the final quarter of the Derby, which has been pretty intense. The Bulldogs have had it mostly their own way. The Tigers fought back a little bit, but it's going to take a big effort for them to get back into this game. Bunbury 7 goals, 9.51 to South Bunbury 5 goals, 5.35 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. A few changes. Crane has gone out onto the outer wing. Chitty's in the ruck. There must be something wrong with Pedley. So Julian Burgess has thrown the board around, looking to get a little bit of drive out of this game. We're not very far away from the final quarter. A lot on the line here. 2 good sides going head to head. But as I said, Macca, it's been the Bulldogs.
And it's the breeze is definitely favouring the port end, Craney, and looking at the flapping of that umpire's shirt in his hair. So that's the way South Bunbury are going. We'll see what happens.
Just a quick around the grounds for Geograph Civil. And your boys, the Sharks, are up 6 goals 3 to Collie 3 goals 3.
Up they go. It's a big win by King into the ruck. Crane hits the ball hard, being held as he tries to get the football. Umpire saw that. And Sean Crane to get the first kick of the quarter. Quickly goes on by hand to Riley. Puts a torpedo punt to centre half forward. They come at it from all directions. Waldrop can't mark, but does find himself with the footy. He's tackled. Ball spills out. It's tied up just inside the Tigers 50. Dead in front. Dead in front of their goal.
For the sake of the game, the Tigers need to put one here to get the crowd put in.
Ball's one down by King. Bulldogs get it through. Gribble goes at the footy hard. Umpire says play on. Chitty puts his head over it. Donkin into his back. They're all flying everywhere. Chitty gets a kick out of the pack to the scoreboard side. Out they coming. Fantastic
That's a great grab.
Mark on the chest to Bellini. Bellini goes out and finds Wood.
Bellini looks all right down there.
Yeah, he does. Another young up-and-comer. Wood goes long to the half-forward flank on that outer side. In the road was Crawford of Parsons, and the ball goes over the line off hands. So they'll ball in for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. Half-forward for the Bulldogs. Ball comes back into play. King gets Chitty out of the way, then gathers the ball off the deck. Ball's kicked in there by Creasy, and they stand underneath it. Oh, my goodness me. And Versace was dealt with horribly by Parsons. Is it just a free kick? By Horton. And it's just a free kick because it was all...
He got steamrolled, didn't he, Versace?
Anyway, he's taking his time. The umpires let him play on by hand now. Got out to Riley. He's got Piggott out here on the half-back flank. That goes over the back of Piggott and Heisman. Piggott picks it up, gives it to Sawyer. Sawyer got it to Bain. Bain over his head to Creasy, who's almost in slow motion, then spots up.
He's done that all day. He's had all the time in the world.
Hawks on the left foot to the hot spot. They stand underneath it. That's a good effort by Parsons. Can't mark. Versace tumbles it out of the 50. Coming out to meet it. Best read by Field. Picks it up cleanly. Goes on the right boot to the pocket. The umpire's found a free kick.
To who?
I think it might be Field for being dropped when he got rid of the footy. Is it down the ground?
You're not quite sure. There's players
No, it's
running
not.
about.
It's Fields going back to take the kick. So it must have been in the act of kicking by young Gallagher. So Field goes right on his right beat into the hot spot. The pack forms, comes to ground. Taken there beautifully by Gribble. He's brought to ground also, and there'll be a ball up about 40 metres out, nearly directly in front of the Bulldogs' goal.
I'll tell you what, there's some tired players out there, Macca. It's been a bit strength zapping.
Oh, it's been absorbing. Up they go. It's one down by Horton over his shoulder. Picking it up is Hawks. He's tackled by Galloway. Now it's picked up immediately by Nitschke over the shoulder. And it was pushed through by Crawford off hands. Oh, the breeze is picked up, Craney. We know that's still
It
there.
is when you open the back door of the commentary box.
Crawford brings it back
That's a
into
good
play
kick in.
and puts it on to the chest of Jarvis. Jarvis gives it to Riley, who's racking up kicks, getting the handball. He's hit up Crane. Crane took the mark, still on half-back. He goes long down the wing, goes over the head, bounces beautifully for Lane. He's handling the ball like it's dry, Tyson Lane.
Got man on us there, good enough.
On his left foot, gets it to Johnson. He has a look at the big ones, then thinks twice. Goes there and finds Piggott. That's a beautiful lead by Piggott going back with the flight, and Johnson spotted him up beautifully.
That is probably the best passage of play the Tigers have put together all day. They used the ball well. They found a little bit of space, and they got a bit of an opening up there. And Blake Pickett, well, this will test him.
45 degrees right side for a right footer, and he'll be kicking from about 35 metres. In he comes, Blake Piggott. He's had a reasonable day. Goes off the right boot. It's going to miss to the near side. Never looked like it. And it brings the Tigers 1 point closer. So 5-6-36. They trail the Bulldogs 7-10-52. Still that 16-point differential. Is it? Oh, yes, it is. Up they go. And a beautiful mark on the half-back flank there to young Galloway. He's growing as this game goes on. On the left foot, goes inside 50. Waldrop brings the pack. Jarvis roved it beautifully on the right boot. It's another behind.
So who took that mark out there, Macca?
That was Galloway, mate. That's the one that is not as good as Lane's. I'm sorry.
No, it takes a bit of beating, Lane, for the CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day.
Ball to be brought back in by Heisman. Been doing the kicking out today. He is a master of this.
He gets good distance, doesn't he?
It's back to 15 points. In he comes. Goes right down the corridor. They set themselves out the back. Comes back to Sawyer. A little fumble, then picks it up. He's being tackled by...
Going for touch there.
By Bill Sitch.
Don't you get a lot of area coming out of full back nowadays?
Oh, yeah, because you can run out of the square. You don't have to kick it to yourself. The square's 10 metres longer than it used to be as well as all these things. One down by King. Got it down to Field, who knocked it forward. It's now gathered by Riley. Got it back there to Galloway on his left boot. Goes long. Heisman takes a chest mark. Pushed late. That'll be 50. Yes, they've been paying it all day, and it was late.
Yeah, and why would you do it? It's just
that was Jarvis. It was silly.
Yeah, that's right. There's no excuse for it,
especially with a bloke with a leg like he's got.
Yeah, well, you just put him into the forward 50.
Well, you've given away 110 metres effectively. He puts it up nice and high, inside 50 for the Bulldogs. They set themselves very, very, very good mark to Galloway. Galloway floats one out here to the halfback flank. Piggott has to go. Getting back on it is Perks for the Bulldogs. He got it there to Creasy. He tries to spit it out to Hawks. Getting at him is Versace. Comes off Hawks' toe and will be a ball in.
Just watching that kick from Heisman, that pulled up rather dramatically there.
It did. So that breeze is strong. So it'll be a ball up at half forward for the Tigers on the members' side, right in front of their faithful.
Good crowd in too. Ladies' Day happening this afternoon.
Ball.
And a couple of premiership reunions.
One down by King with the big fist. Hall tries to get after it. Rockland Riley tackled by King. He's been terrific today around the packs. King, Donkin grabs it, tries to fend off, then he's dumped. Umpire said without it after he got rid of it. So Scotty Donkin has got a rather long left foot, but this breeze is kicking up as we speak.
Right in
He's
front
going
of
to wheel around. No, umpire says you've got to go behind the mark, Scotty, from a free. Scotty Donkin. Here he goes. Left foot to the hot spot. All players set themselves. Ball's fisted away out into that back pocket. Getting after it is Gallagher. Versace off the ground. Comes back to field. He can't pick it up. Versace goes off the ground again. Kerwin picks it up. Waldrop with him. Kerwin manages to get it forward, and that's good effort. Parsons drops what he should have taken. Versace applies pressure. Really good work by Kerwin to follow up and get a drop punt into the forward line, but it's marked by Crawford on the chest. Immediately he comes out to Galloway, marks it on his chest.
He's growing in confidence, isn't he?
Continues across the ground looking for Piggott. Fantastic by Creasy. Took a one
He'll
grab
go
mark,
from here.
bounces inside 50, dummies, left foot, out on the full.
Wow, he did everything but, didn't he?
That breeze swayed that. It was like a left arm outswinger.
It was. Yeah. Terry Alderman would have been very pleased with that. Gee, Creasy's silky smooth mover.
Oh, it's one grab mark in these conditions as Horsman brings it back into play to the half back flank on the far side. Away they go. The ball's gone over the back of the pack. Picked up really well by Jones to Crane, who's run on and had a bounce. He looks for options up forward and kicks it up to half forward. Bourne comes out. Can't mark with him is Bellini, and he sees it over the line. Good work by Bellini.
Yeah, he's been good, Bellini, down there on Bourne.
Bourne's had a day he'd rather forget, Craney.
Yeah, oh, look, there's been a few South Bunbury players like that.
So we've got Chitty and King. King's been pretty good this quarter in the ruck. Half forward for the Tigers. One down by King again. Picked up by Bain. Got it to Galloway. He streaked through. Big, long left foot to the hot spot. They sit under, goes over the back, and umpire's found a free kick, and it's gone to the Tigers.
Richie Bourne got his jumper pulled there.
Oh, just when we give him a raz training, we bring him into the game. Richie Bourne. Now, this is an important goal. This will bring it back to 9 points, Alan.
Yeah, hard to believe, isn't it? When we're sitting there watching the Bulldogs in complete dominance, and if Richie Bourne can kick this, as you say, brings it back in to a reasonable distance.
Almost dead in front, 30 metres out, pokes it through, and the Tigers inch closer on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Get yourself a D-Max. 7:10:52 to 6:7:43.
I'll tell you what, this game is warming up too from Half Hour's feeling. Half Hour's get that smart home climate control systems, air conditioning and fireplaces, in-house Half House Bunbury. And look, South just keep on keeping on, don't they? They haven't looked much of a chance so far this game, but as you said, this game back within 9 points.
I'll tell you what, Lachlan Riley's doing a lot of running to get the player who wins the kick or wins the mark. So he'd be really hot for Half House because he's getting a lot of kicks that way, but I think it's it must be a direction or a plan. Up they go. One down there by Chitty. They come in, they wrap him up. That was Donkin, Field that got wrapped up by Bain, who had a fantastic third quarter. Up they go. Parsons wins this down. Picked up by Bain. Gets on his left boot and kicks it to half forward. Coming out was Hutchison, couldn't mark. And then Heisman gets it up the ground and he finds Gilchrist just on the members' wing. Good mark to this class.
Definitely a Hemp Brothers rising star, this young man.
Yeah, puts it up to half forward. They set themselves. No one can mark. Getting out the back was Parsons, falls over at a crucial moment. Umpire's found a free, though.
And they're away, South Bunbury.
The Tigers. Piggott has the ball on the halfback flank, goes right across the ground to the hard-running Crane. Picks it up at halfback, goes up the wing. Riley takes a good mark on the chest, grabbed after he marked it. They appeal for 50. He handballs it on to Crane, who's run on. Crane goes half forward, and a good mark out in front by Nordal. Crane's run on again, the little champion. Here he goes, another bounce. He's going to get to 50. He goes inside to Bourne, can't mark, goes over the back. Lane picks it up, goes on the right boot, it dribbles home, and it's seen over the line there by Maxi Bilsich.
Gee, the game is tightening up.
So the ball's going to get brought back into play by Dylan Heisman. It's come back to 8 points, Craney. Whoa. How long do you reckon we've got to play? 15 minutes?
Yeah, it would be something like that.
Heisman brings it in. It's done very, very well there by Riley. Spoiled the ball, came in, got a foot on it, and went over the line. Be a ball up 25 metres around.
There won't be a lot of time on. There hasn't been a lot of goals kicked.
From South's goal. Boundary umpire about to throw it in for Dale Alcock. Southwest Holmes. In it comes. One down by Chitty. Nordal overruns it. Going in's Bourne, taken high. Yes, he was. Tack the footy. So Bourne. He's got the breeze at his back. Hawks on the mark. He'll have to kick it from 50, and it's the right side for a left footer. He'll kick it from about 50 or just outside. Richie Bourne. Kick the last goal. In he comes. Let's fly from just inside 50. It's not a bad looking effort.
Whoa, that is
Tyson
on
Lane
money.
was clapping. And Richie Bourne, 2 goals in 5 minutes. And suddenly it's a 2-point ball game, Craney, on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
This game never ceases to amaze me, Macca. I sit there and watch footy. For a long time I've been involved in footy, and this game was done, dusted, completely put to bed, and now we're looking at a 2-game ball game into the last quarter.
Absolutely. So,
Terrific kick by young Bourne then, though.
We were saying off air they'd need a 4-goal quarter to win it, because we'd expect Bunbury to kick at least one. Bunbury haven't got their one yet. So
lived up to it. We started to think it wasn't going to live up to the traditional derby, but
it is. She's never over until the siren goes. Up they go. Chitty King wins this one down. Head over the footy. Bain, he's been terrific in this half. Ball to ground, and he'll get penalised for holding the ball because he did have prior. And picked up by Field. Plays on immediately. Gets it on his right boot. Gets it to centre forward. Coming out. A bit of a throw from Gilchrist. He scooped her up.
Well, the crowd is invested now, aren't they?
Goes back to Crawford. Crawford's got Piggott on the wing. The wind whipped it away from under him, and umpire said Heisman infringed Piggott. Little lucky there. Piggott goes back into the corridor to Hutchison, to Crawford. Crawford goes long on his left boot. Comes in Lane! Clears the pack. Lane sliding in on the chest. Could be a hero.
I tell you what,
Lane.
If Crawford meant that kick, that was very, very classy, and I almost think he did. He looked for Johnson, and then Lane popped in behind him. Gee, this is a bit of pressure on this young kid, isn't he?
He's dead in front. He's kicked a goal from the 45 out here today. The breeze is right at his back. He will kick from about 45, Craney. It's definitely well within his capabilities. Absolutely it is. In he comes, on the right boot, puts it up, asks the breeze to do the work. The ball's still in play. Waldron over his head!
Oh,
now
no!
He's claiming it! Umpire has other ideas.
I think
and Craney
Western All Power Services
on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. It's Bunbury 52 and South Bunbury 51.
Game on.
Smallest of margins. I'm warming up for half house. Ball comes back into play for Perks. Parsons pushed underneath it. Umpire says play on. Ball's going to be thrown in for Dale Alcock, home Southwest. Just at half forward for the Tigers.
Normally we can see a clock run and we can't see that now.
Can't see a clock, can't see a windsock. We got ball comes back into play. Chitty wins this one down. Bunbury doing everything now they can to soak up precious time.
Yeah, there's only we've just got the word. There's only not too long left in this quarter, so it's all before South Bunbury at the moment.
One down by Parsons, straight down to Hall. Wrapped up again. This is going in the Bulldogs' favour. Just between wing and half forward. Tigers' way. Parsons wins it down again. Ball spills out. Gribble gets it on his boot. Coming out of metre was Horton. Tries to earn a free kick. Horsman's done a good job on him since half time.
I think there's only about 3 minutes left in this game, actually, Macca.
Still a bit of time. Still a bit of time. Ball to come back into play. Just forward to centre wing for the Bulldogs. Everyone's on the edge of their seat. In it comes. One down by Parsons. Only as far as Chitty. Chitty got the handball out the back. They try to burst through. Jones.
Oh, he's
dumped.
been pinged, holding the ball.
Dumped. Dangerous tackle. No, holding the ball. So Field has the ball. Right on the wing. Goes into the corridor. Big right foot boot inside 50. They stand underneath.
Oh, what a mark.
Fantastic mark there. To Versace. Plays on. Goes bang on the right boot. Back out to the wing where it came from, and it's marked by Field. He gets around. Goes on his left side. Right foot kick. Back inside 50. Close to the boundary line. They sit underneath it. And that's a fantastic mark there.
Crawford.
To Crawford. Crawford wastes no time, goes long back down that wing. Rain starting to fall. Field having a field day in this last minute or so. Umpire bringing the ball back. It's a free kick.
Well, just in the hands of Jesse Gribble too.
Chip pass over the top, finds Parsons. That was a little bit easy. Parsons within range. He's worse than 45 degrees. Right side from a left footer will kick from inside 50 or just on the paint.
And even so, Macca, this time he's taking to do this.
Yeah.
It's playing into the Bulldogs' hands.
He'll be taking the full amount of time that
and
he can.
as he should be, the young man.
Even if he gets a point. In he comes. Gets to 50. Off his right boot. It's not a bad looking effort. It's come in and it is a behind. So it's got to be...
The length of the field.
It's got to be roll and go for the Tigers as Galloway comes in and puts in a big long left boot. Goes over the back. Williamson's read it well for the Bulldogs. He gets it back to a teammate who dives on it ferociously, did Oliver. Coming through was Nordal. And he's been taken high. He gets a free kick. He'll have to be quick. Gets it on quickly to Waldrett. Waldrett goes on his left foot. Lane trying valiantly to get there.
Well, they needed that to stay in the line. They needed that to stay in play, the Bulldogs.
So it's at half forward on the members' side for the Tigers. They need to get this clear from the stoppage. Play in front.
Look at the numbers around the ball.
The Bulldogs have been magnificent today, fighting to hold on. Here they go, Chitty. What? Takes it out of the ruck, gets it on his boot. Crane flies through, gets it to Riley on his favoured left foot, puts it up to the hot spot. It's all going to come down to this. It hits the point post on the full. It's out on the full. And so the Bulldogs may have just won the day. Kerwin has it right next to the point post.
I'm loving this crowd out in front of us. They are right locked into this game of footy.
Kerwin goes out to the half-back flank. Piggott flies, can't mark.
Oh, he nearly did enough then too.
It's going to be a throw-in on the half-forward flank on the outer side for the Tigers. Siren can't be far away now. Ball to come back into play. In it comes for Dale Alcock, home southwest. One down by Chitty. They try to burst through. Bulldogs holding it up at every opportunity. Craney, we have been treated to another sensational Southwest Football League game here today.
Absolute belter, isn't it? It's been an amazing game of football, to tell you the truth, Macca.
Oh, going down was Chitty, but it was Chitty, but the umpire said play on. Jones flicks it out. Riley gets a fist on it. I think she's done for. Tickled over by Field. Finds Big Horton, who thumps it long on that big right boot of his. Getting back with a flighty
that's a magnificent mark.
Versace still hasn't given up hope. Comes into the middle of the ground.
But
Goes
that's a
over there to
turnover.
his teammate. Now Horton has it. Tries to fend off on Callaway. The crowd are right into this, and the umpire said holding the ball. They might want to hurry it up.
Yeah, the kick to South Bunbury.
Chitty goes long on his right boot out here. Sitting underneath it's Crawford. Can't mark. Kerwin mops up. Tries to hold the ball in. Piggott arrives.
That's not where you needed to be.
No, it's going to
You
be a
needed to
ball
be down the middle.
right here on this wing in front of us. Chitty and King. King wins it down to Kerwin. Kerwin's wrapped up.
A lot of people putting the pressure on the timekeeper. How long?
Field actually right up just inside the centre square, right in the middle of the ground. Crane tries to break through. Didn't have the football. Umpire says play on. They tied up. There's going to be another stoppage for KFC. If you're eating your KFC, you'll be licking your lips because of this game. Up they go again. Chitty and King. King wins it down. Bulldogs can't quite clear it. Ball can't break loose. I think they've done enough, Craney.
Well, I tell you what, it needs to break open here, but what a magnificent last quarter. This has been everyone on the edge of the last seats.
Up they go. One down by King again. He's jumping in every. Chitty sockers it out. South Bunbury break loose. Gets to half forward. Williamson stands under. Here comes Nordell. Ethan Nordell's got to go. He's got a lead on from Bourne.
Oh, no.
On the chest. Richie
Gee,
Bourne.
I'll tell you what, Richie
He won't
Bourne.
have a bigger kick in his life from this. Don't care what level of footy he's played.
This is right on the minute. I reckon there's 3 minutes to go in the ball game too, so...
Western All-Perth Services will be holding their hearts in their mouths because this could be goal of the day if he gets it. Worse than 45 degrees, right side for a right footer, going to kick from about 30. Richie Bourne. In he comes. He's put it up, it's gone across the face. It's a behind.
Back to a 1 point ball game.
1 point.
The smile on the Bunbury's faces.
Jeez. This 3 minutes been the longest 3 minutes of my life, Craney. Heisman.
I reckon Troy Hollands will be absolutely agreed with you.
Heisman thumps it out to the half-back flank. They fly. And
That's
it's a Bunbury
beautiful mark.
I think it's Big Horton it is. Comes back into the middle of the ground. I think they've done enough. He finds Creasy. Creasy going out wide to the wing. He's got runners. Picked up by Perks. Took it on the bounce. Goes long into centre forward. Out comes Woods. Can't mark it. Umpire's paid a free for over the shoulder. And this will be all she wrote, surely.
Absolutely, I think Woods is doing exactly the right thing here, just taking his time to get up.
And doesn't the young player there in Baskerville look dejected?
I reckon the time he goes would just about play enough here for the Bulldogs. And to tell you the truth, they deserve it. They've been magnificent all day.
About 60 metres out, Woods. He sees a teammate, pops it over to him, and it's Williamson, I think. And he's been good today off the back line, Williamson. And he's on a 45-degree angle right side for a left footer, and he'll go back, take all the time he can, and he'll have a shot from just inside 50.
We hope the scoreboard attendants have got it right.
Yeah, goodness me.
Won't matter much here.
Here he comes. Xavier Williamson to send it home for the Bulldogs. He started it right out right. It's coming back in.
Oh,
gee,
that had a bit of curve to it, didn't it?
That breeze is strong. So, one last roll of the dice for the Tigers with a big spiral. Here it comes. Tyson Lane sets off after it. He's got a paddock if he can get there. He gathers well, puts on the afterburners, goes on to the right boot to the hot spot. Johnson can't mark. Bourne's there. She's on for young and old. It's just under the scoreboard that's gone over the line. There'll be a ball in.
That was the spiral that come out of there.
Oh, my goodness me. If there's a stoppage or a free kick here. 40 seconds to go. Ball comes back into play for Dale Alcock, Southwest Homes. One down by King. Ties it up. Chitty gets in there. Ball up now just inside the 50 for KFC. It's the Tigers' way. It's at 45 metres and it's a 45-degree angle. Up they go again. One down by Bain. The Bulldogs get it out. Riley's there. He's pushed in the back by Gribble. Umpire, well, he's going to ball it up at a half forward, on the half forward flank for the Tigers on the far side.
Wow, what a game of footy we've been treated to.
I think they've done enough. I think the Bulldogs have done enough, but what we do know is we've got two very good sides here, Craney, at the top of the ladder.
Absolutely have.
Can't mark. Big kick
this
by
needs a mark.
Crawford. Coming out was Nordal. Picked up there by Johnson. There's a shot on goal from Nordal. He's got it.
No.
They've stolen it.
They
have stolen it. Ethan
wow.
Nordal. Oh, my
10
goodness
seconds
gracious,
left.
mate.
This game never ceases to amaze me, Macca.
Oh,
South Bunbury
wow.
have hit the front with 10 seconds to go in this game of football. I think that was Walrot that picked that up.
Oh, wow.
Well, where do you go from here?
It's not often on stuff for words, Craney, but we have witnessed something special here today.
We have it, that, and it never ceases to amaze me, this game of footy. It's back to the centre, Browns. Don't worry about that.
10 seconds to go. You wouldn't want a free kick and a 50 here if you were Souths after you've just got a 4-point lead on the Southwest
I'd
Isuzu
say
scoreboard.
lock the thing up if I was South.
I cannot believe what I've just seen. It's
Wow.
going to be another ball up for KFC. 7-12-54, 8-10-58 to the Tigers on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
And
What's
there's a
going
bit
on?
of not sure what's
Is
happening.
it a 6-6-6 rule or what's going on? It's a free kick, 6-6-6.
Free kick to who?
Or is it a warning?
South are getting themselves sorted out. Not quite sure what's happening.
Jeez.
it's dramatic, whatever's happening,
it was a
Macca.
6-6-6. No one was in the right position. So Chitty's come out to the wing and Johnson's gone back. Ball's up. It's one down. No one can gather. Lachlan Riley gets his 422nd kick out of the middle of the ground on his left foot. And the Tigers
there
get
you
home
go.
in an absolute heart stopper here at Payne Park. The crowd has erupted. And what an absolute feature we have been treated to here on this WA Day long weekend in Bunbury.
I am absolutely stunned. Take a little bit of a break, Macca. If we look at the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, we see South Bunbury 8 goals, 10, 58. Somehow, I'm not quite sure how, Macca, they have defeated the Bunbury Bulldogs 7 goals, 12, 54 in what has been a magnificent game of footy. I think we need to go to a break, settle down, and we shall be back.
4 goals to 0 in the last quarter, Craney.
Wow. See you after the break.